Hello everyone, my name is Arun and I'm working as a solutions architect with Space, and this is my YouTube channel and these are my views, and welcome to the architectural series. And today we are going to dig architectural constraints a little deeper. So this is the part of solutions architect responsibilities. So let's dive into it. Well, constraints is something which will decide a lot in your detailed design, right? It will lead to a lot of dependencies. So as a solution architect, when you hit the constraints, you need to be very careful, right? So architectural constraints are one of the most challenging attributes of solution design. A solution architect needs to manage these constraints carefully and be able to negotiate between them to find an optimal solution. Why negotiate? Because of dependency, risk, and the importance. They could be a constraint which is like must have or should have. So must have falls under this negotiation gap. Okay, so let's quickly check what are the most common constraints are. Okay, so very first is, okay, let me move to the uh, alphabet letter, I'm sorry, not alphabet. So very first is cost. You know, anyone can create a wonderful design which is like highly secure, highly available, scalable, and things like that. But you need to keep in mind somebody has to pay, right? So how much funding is available for a solution implementation is a constraint. You cannot just go and choose all the wonderful things which are available in the market. You need to be aware about the expected ROI. Okay, so cost is one of the constraint. Then we have quality, right? How closely should outcomes match functional and non-functional requirements? How can we ensure and track the quality of the solution? Nobody wants the poor quality, right? It is like, let's suppose you have bought the subscription of Netflix and it just keep on buffering, or there's a huge latency and it's not holding your information like state what you were watching, things like that. So quality matters. Time. When should the output be delivered? Once you design, it will once you design, it gets approved by the customer for sure. Like, you have implemented what you promised, but there is a team, like a build team, which is involved in creating all that infrastructure that you have proposed. Or maybe if it's a migration, then those are strategies. So a delivery, till what time you would have that up and running, is very important. Or is there any flexibility regarding time? You need to definitely check this out. Else, this constraint is very important. A lot of things are depend on this, right? Then we have scope. What is the exact expectation and how does the requirement gap need to be handled and accommodated? There is technology for sure. Technology. What technology can be utilized? Okay, what flexibility does using legacy versus new technology provide? Should we build in house or source from a vendor? It is more like, let's put it this way: you might have your own team, but your team is not aware of those technologies with the help of which you are going to design a solution. So there is a constraint. Your customer doesn't want to use the past services. He's well versed, or his team is well versed with the VM, right? So technology is there. Then of course, risk. What can go wrong and how can we mitigate that, right? What is the risk tolerance of stakeholders? Those kind of things. Resource. What is required to complete a solution delivery? Who will work on the solutions implementations? Because you need to check the availability of that resource, right? He should be available because whatever you need from the customer side, he is there to help you out, right? Compliance is something which is very important. There are so many different kind. What are the local law requirements that can impact the solution? What are the audit and the certification requirements? Those kind of things. There could be more specific constraints related to a project, such as storing data in a country due to government regulation. You can say there would be that could be uh, part of compliance like GDPR, or if it is health related and HIPAA, then it is, if credit card related, it's PCI, those kind of things, right? And achieving a schedule with limited resource may affect quality, right? Which in turn increase cost due to unwanted bug fixes. So finding the balance between cost, quality, time, and scope is very significant. It is essential for a solution architect to understand all the aspect of every constraint and to be able to identify any resulting risk. They must put risk mitigation plans into place and find a balance between them, right? So let's quickly summarize this video. Most common architectural constraints that you need to keep in mind. You can refer this video while you're creating a design. If you're new, if you're already doing it, then you're already aware of it, right? So you need to check the cost, how much budget is there to 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 utilize all those technology which are available, wonderful technologies, right? The quality matters. So is the customer is ready to compromise on the quality or on the cost or things like that? Time, what is the timeline, what is the deadline, right? Scope, technology, risk, resource, and compliance. These are some most common constraints that you need to think about before you start your designing. Because if you do not talk about these to, or do not think these prior to uh, jump into the designing, then you might need to go through a lot of rework, and time is one of the constraint, right? So thank you for watching and you have a good day.